we just really have become great friends. But I've watched him over the last several years, and his company is just skyrocketing. It's just so great to see it. And he was a distributor prior to his company, one of the top distributors of a company. And with that, I want to introduce Michael Wenniger. Michael, how are you doing today, sir?
Oh, my goodness. If it was any better, I can't believe it. I'm with Doug Firebaugh. You can't have a better day than that. I was fortunate enough to get something in the mail, took a course about the networking industry, learned some things about compounding income and having reoccurring income, and took these 5 things that I learned. I only picked 5 out of the whole thing, transitioned them and said, let's try it. I don't have a lot of time, but we can do it an hour a day and, 4 days a week. And that's what I did. But you know what? I treated it like I was going to work. And the next month came, and in the mail was a check for $200.
Oh, that's good. There's a lot of people out there, for whatever reason, maybe it's just not in their DNA, but they still make great customers. And you told me one time that your customer count alone in your organization was off the charts. How did it feel to have just tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of customers?
Well, in order to create success in this industry, there's a lot of things that, all these conditions that need to be right. So what I try and teach somebody is how to, forget about, the event that you just attended. You know what? When you get back home, a week later, you're back into wherever you are in life, okay? And the thing is I try and teach people now how to pick the right company by getting out of all that and getting outside the company and getting outside and looking in.
Question.
If you can put the best networker, here's what I tell people, Doug. I tell you can put the best networker in the wrong program, and he goes broke, and he won't make anything. But put the worst networker in the right program, and all the conditions are right, he becomes the next guy you read about in Success or Entrepreneur Magazine.
I know so many people that, let me put it to you this way. My mentor told me one time, he says, there's 2 different things you've got. He says, you've got talent and you've got position. And he said, I would much rather have positioning and timing versus talent and people, because he said, with timing and positioning, he says, it doesn't matter whether you're any good at this or not, you will create some serious momentum.
And timing and positioning is 99%. Ability is only 1%.
So they have seen you on TV because over the last several years, you have got a product that has been featured on so many TV stations and just interviews called Power Pops.
I am so fortunate and so lucky and so grateful for every appearance I've ever made, from Good Morning America to Extra TV to The Doctors and Tyra Banks and, all these different TV shows. He lost so much weight they had to write it into his script.
Wow.
I found this little guy in Phoenix, Arizona, that had these lollipops that said that they would give you energy and help you lose weight. And, they're backed with a guarantee. What's the worst that can happen? I get my money back. He goes, I bought my first bag, and within my first week, I lost 9 pounds. And he goes, look at me now. 4 months later, I've lost 88 pounds. And then after that, the minute he said that, without me even knowing there was an interview going on, I was actually walking through a mall. My phone is ringing off the hook. Hollywood's going crazy. Paparazzi is at our headquarters.
That's such a great story for our profession, because it really goes to show that it's still, regardless of what people think, yes, you got to go out and build teams. Yes, you got to go out and multiply what you do, but it's still all about the product.
It is, and that's what it all boils down to. And I think that's where a lot of companies lose it, because they go and then it has no sustainability. And what happens next is people dive into these companies because of atmosphere, and then all of a sudden, wake up the next morning, website doesn't work, where is everybody? And then they get a bad taste in their mouth. I tell people, look, you need to look for it's not about a single product. That's not how it works in this industry anymore. It doesn't work like that. I tell people, get outside the company itself and make it like a real good business decision. Look at it from every prediction out there. CNN, MSNBC says 8% of the world right now buys green and organic products, organic and chemical-free products. And in 7 to 8 years, it's going to be 98% of the world, and it will create more money and more millionaires and billionaires than Microsoft and the Internet combined. You want a company that's going to last forever? Go find a company that's focusing on a complete lifestyle change. And if you can do that, you got yourself the next home run. So I saw that, and here's the biggest thing. I saw nobody in the world was doing it. They were talking about it, but nobody was focusing on that. So I'm the first guy in the world. Forget about network marketing and forget about mom and pop or just traditional business. I am the first guy in the world that is focused on 100% chemical-free and certified organic living. So from a business standpoint, for people that want to get in this business, but I saw it from a complete health standpoint because we're living in a world right now, or in a country where you got a 49% clinically diagnosed cancer rate. And what about the people that are walking around that don't have it? Oh, my goodness, you're up over 50%. And when you and I were kids, Doug, people died in their sleep and of old age. And what they're finding out, it's all coming from all the stuff you're using. And this is a real simple thing to learn. You can learn it on this show with Doug Firebaugh today. And you put something in your mouth, within 20 seconds it goes into your bloodstream. On a wet body, when you're in the shower, 45 seconds. If you just put something on you, it takes about 90 seconds to leach into your bloodstream. And you know what? It doesn't come out.
Let me ask you one final question. We've got about another couple minutes here. If there's one thing that you could tell the listener, and obviously they're sitting there and taking notes and they're maybe struggling a little bit, if there's one little secret to this business, coming from a distributor standpoint, because obviously you were one of the top for many, many years, what is that one little secret that you could share with them saying, here it is? And I would have to totally 100% agree with that, Michael. I think you hit a home run with that's so good. Guys, you've been listening to the Leaders Luncheon. And we have been talking with Michael Wenniger, who is the CEO, founder, and president of Essante Worldwide. He is a friend of mine, and he's also been a top earner within the top 2 or 3 or 4 people in the entire company of $1 billion company. So he's been on both sides, and today we heard not only his story, but also a little bit about his company, and also I hope you got the nuggets in between everything. It was amazing. Michael, thank you so much for being here today. You've been listening to the Home Business Radio Network, the Leaders Luncheon, Positive Powered Radio.